Today we'll discuss about Class 11 Business Studies, second chapter, Forms of Business Organization. In that we'll discuss about sole proprietorship today. Okay, normally when we see movies, we'll visualize ourselves as a hero or a heroine, so that we'll be more involved in the movie. Same way, when we discuss business studies, we have to visualize ourselves as a businessman. We have to imagine ourselves as a businessman, so that we'll be more involved in the business. Okay, now we are a sole proprietor. Okay, right? We're going to discuss about the features of sole proprietor. Formation and closure. Formation and closure. Formation of a sole proprietorship is easier because minimum capital, the smaller capital is required to start the business. If you have a smaller capital, you can start the business, and there is no much of a legal formalities to start the business. In some case, you have to take a license for some product, or else you can, provided you have a capital, you can start the business, and whenever you want to close it also, you can close the business. Formation and closure is easier. The next one is liability. In case of a sole proprietorship, there is an unlimited liability. What is an unlimited liability? If the business liability is more than the business asset during the closure, a sole proprietor need to give his personal asset to close the liability. You got it? Okay, I'll give you a small example for this. For example, business liability. You're having a liability in a business of 80,000 which you need to pay, right? Business asset, the total business asset which you are having is 60,000, for example. Okay, so during the closure, 60,000, the remaining is 20,000. So the liability is 80,000, the total asset in the business is 60,000, the remaining is 20,000. So the remaining liability during the closure, the sole proprietor need to give his personal asset to close the liability. That is known as unlimited liability. Okay, in the case of a sole proprietorship, it is unlimited liability. Okay, it is unlimited liability towards the business. Okay, then sole risk bearer and profit recipient. Okay, sole risk bearer. So though, if there is any risk in the business, since it is a sole proprietor, he need to bear the risk. So as he is enjoying the profit, so the risk also the sole proprietor need to bear it. Okay, during this lockdown time, they might close the shop for some time. If loss occurs, he need to bear the loss. He need to bear the risk. As he is enjoying the profit in the normal days, he need to bear the risk on during the difficult times. Okay, then control. The entire control of the business is with the sole proprietor. Okay, in case if he wants to give any discounts during the festival season, he can give. If you want to clear stock which is there for a long time, if you want to clear it in a cost price, he can do it. So, and the entire control is with the sole proprietor. Okay, they no need to ask any decisions from others. So the entire control of the business is with the sole proprietor. Okay, then comes no separate entity. There is no separate entity between the business and the sole proprietor. They one the same. Okay, in the eyes of the law, there is no difference between the business and the sole proprietor. Okay, in case of anything happens to the business, the sole proprietor is responsible. Okay, understood? In case of any expired goods sold in the business, the sole proprietor is responsible. In case of any legal issue, sole proprietor is responsible. There is no separate entity. The business between the business and the sole proprietor, there is no separate entity. They are one and the same in the eyes of the law. Okay, got it? The last one is lack of business continuity. Okay, since it is a single owner, in case of a death, in case of a insanity, in case of a bankruptcy, in case of a imprisonment, the business will come to an end. Okay, there is a possibility of closure of the business. Okay, that is lack of business continuity. We have discussed about the features of the sole proprietorship. Okay, now we'll discuss about merits of the sole proprietorship. Okay, the first one is quick decision making. You have freedom in decision making. You can make a prompt decision. You can have a timely capitalization of market opportunity. When there is a demand for a particular product, you can increase the production or you can increase the stock and you can maximize your profit. So, quick decision making is possible in sole proprietorship. We are discussing about the merits of sole proprietorship. Then the next one we'll see confidentiality of information. Okay, you can have all your business information confidentially. And also another thing, you are not bound by the law to publish your accounts in sole proprietorship. So that one also will be confidential. So confidentiality of information. Okay, and direct incentive. You can reap your incentive directly. You will get all the benefits, profit. No need to share the profit with anyone else. So you will get a direct incentive. Then sense of accomplishment. You will have a personal satisfaction. Okay, you have done your work, so you will get a personal satisfaction. You will get confidence in your ability. Okay. The next one is easy of formation and closure. We have already seen that it requires sole proprietorship require minimum capital and minimum legal formalities is required to start a sole proprietorship. This is the least regulated form of business. So these are the merits of sole proprietorship. Now we'll discuss about limitations of sole proprietorship. Okay, the first one is limited resources. As we have seen before, for starting a sole proprietorship, minimum capital is required. Okay, how will you start a sole proprietorship? By borrowing from others or through your personal savings, you will start the business. Okay, this will be a smaller business. Even the bank will not lend a long-term loan for the smaller business. So that is limited resources. Okay, then the next one is limited life of business concern. Since it is a single owner, in case of a death, in case of a insanity, or in case of an imprisonment, or in case of a bankruptcy, the business will come to an end. It can lead to closure. Okay, then the third one is unlimited liability. Okay, in case of a poor decision or in case of any unfavorable circumstances, the financial burden will come to a sole proprietor. As he is a single owner, in case if business fails, the burden will come to a sole proprietor. So it is always less inclined towards the risk. So innovation and expansion is lesser in this sole proprietorship. Okay, then limited managerial ability. So for a business, you need experience in purchase, sales and finance. So one will not be expert in all the three areas. So decision making will not be balanced. Okay, so that since it is a limited resources, you can't employ a talented and ambitious employees because of limited resources. Okay, these are the limitations of sole proprietorship. Even though there is some limitations in the sole proprietorship, many entrepreneurs, they prefer a sole proprietorship because there is a minimum capital required to start this business. So many entrepreneurs will prefer going for a sole proprietorship. Okay, thank you guys. If you find this lecture is good, interesting, useful, okay, please subscribe and also press the bell icon to get the next video update. Thank you very much. Bye.